Last Tuesday, Jake received a text message that made his heart race. His company's CEO had scheduled an emergency meeting with every employee. Within minutes, rumors spread across the office. Layoffs were coming. Some co-workers immediately searched for new jobs. Others quietly worried about paying next month's rent or their credit card bills. Jake felt the same fear. But something was different this time. Whether he lost his job or not, his family would still be okay. Why? Because years earlier, Jake had learned how to escape financial stress one level at a time. Today, you'll discover those same 5 levels and which one you're living right now. Level 1. Living paycheck to paycheck. Jake was 26, working full-time as a warehouse supervisor outside Phoenix. On paper, he earned a decent salary, but by the time rent, groceries, gas, insurance, and credit card payments were deducted, there was almost nothing left. Every payday felt like a reset button instead of progress. Then, one Friday evening as he drove home from work, his car suddenly lost power. The mechanic's estimate was $1,100. Jake stared at the number in silence. He checked his bank account 3 times, hoping he had missed something. He hadn't. He didn't have enough savings, so he charged the repair to his credit card, knowing the interest would follow him for months. That night, he couldn't sleep. It wasn't just the broken car, it was the realization that one unexpected bill had completely taken control of his life. Jake understood that surviving wasn't really living. He wasn't building a future yet. He was simply trying to make it to the next paycheck. Level 2. Debt is taking control. Jake was finally earning $68,000 a year, more money than he had ever made. His friends assumed he was doing well because he had a newer car, a nicer apartment, and a steady job. But every month told a different story. His paycheck disappeared into student loans, car payments, credit card balances, and high-interest debt before he could save a single dollar. One afternoon, Jake received an annual bonus of $3,000. For a moment, he imagined taking a vacation or finally starting an investment account. Instead, every dollar went toward paying off old debt. A week later, his bank balance looked exactly the same as before. Sitting alone that evening, Jake realized he wasn't working to build a better future. He was working to pay for decisions he had already made. No matter how hard he worked, debt kept pulling him backward, making every step forward feel like 2 steps back. Level 3. Job and income. Uncertainty. At 34, Jake had finally built a comfortable life. He earned $82,000 a year, paid his bills on time, and even managed to save a little each month. Then, one Monday morning, an email popped up on his screen. Mandatory company meeting, 10 a.m. Within minutes, rumors spread through the office. Budget cuts, layoffs, department closures. Jake tried to focus on his work, but his mind kept racing. What if my position is next? How long could I pay the mortgage? What happens to my family's health insurance? That evening, he sat quietly at the dinner table, smiling for his wife and son while hiding the fear inside. He realized the stress wasn't about today's paycheck. It was about the possibility that tomorrow's paycheck might never come. In that moment, Jake understood that true financial security isn't measured by how much you earn, but by how prepared you are if the income suddenly stops. Level 4. Family financial pressure. By the age of 40, Jake was earning $125,000 a year, a salary he once believed would solve all of his financial problems. Instead, life had become more expensive. His mortgage payment had increased, childcare costs were rising, his parents needed financial help, and his oldest daughter was only a few years away from college. Every paycheck already had a purpose before it even reached his bank account. One evening, his son asked if they could take a family vacation to Disney World. Jake smiled and said, "We'll see." But later that night, he sat at the kitchen table reviewing the family budget. There simply wasn't enough room without sacrificing another important goal. Jake realized that earning more money hadn't eliminated financial stress. It had simply changed its shape. The pressure was no longer about surviving. It was about carrying the weight of everyone who depended on him, while trying to build a secure future for them all. Level 5. Building wealth. Instead of fighting bills. At 50, Jake's life looked very different. His home was nearly paid off, his retirement accounts had grown steadily, and his investments generated enough income to cover much of his family's expenses. The days of worrying about overdue bills were long behind him. But one evening, after watching the news report another sharp stock market decline, Jake opened his investment portfolio and saw that its value had dropped by more than $150,000 in just a few days. Years earlier, he would have panicked. Instead, he closed the app, poured himself a cup of coffee, and reminded himself that he had built his wealth over decades, not days. Jake realized financial stress never truly disappears, it simply changes. He was no longer fighting to survive from paycheck to paycheck. Now, his focus was protecting everything he had spent years building, so his children and grandchildren could enjoy opportunities he never had. Jake eventually realized that financial stress wasn't caused by bad luck. It was caused by being unprepared for life's unexpected moments. The turning point wasn't a higher salary. It was changing his habits. He built an emergency fund before buying luxury items, paid off high-interest debt, invested a portion of every paycheck, lived below his means, and kept learning about money. Over time, those small decisions became life-changing results. If you want to avoid financial stress, don't wait until you earn more. Start with the money you have today. Because financial freedom isn't built by one big paycheck. It's built by hundreds of smart choices made consistently over many years. Now, I want to hear from you. Which level of financial stress are you living in right now? Drop your level in the comments and let's see how many people are working toward financial freedom together.